quite regularly to talk about why and how the best writing advice isn't about writing. And what I don't think I say enough is that it also isn't advice. Before I did my PhD, before I did my MA, before I had published anything at all, a lot of my experience in the past of what feedback felt like, or what it was, how it showed up in my life, was that there was a right and wrong style, a right and wrong way of writing. And I don't think that was the intention of most of the people who were giving feedback, but the times that I had experienced it being enormously damaging to me and to people that I'd worked with or knew or was coaching is to do with that idea that you do it like this and you don't do it like that, or that this is a meaningful subject and this isn't. The truth of that is that you don't know what you're writing when you start writing it. Something arrives in your head, and it might be an image, or it might be an overheard line of dialogue that then the story that came to you, you realise was you creating it, because we don't know. When we overhear something, there isn't a right answer. We don't know where that line of dialogue came from. But because we are such instinctive creatures and we start creating, we start imagining, we forget that that is us bringing our story to what we've heard. So these writing prompts, if you lack the confidence to see that you are doing that, those ideas float off as freely as they arrived. And the thing is that when you have feedback that doesn't value you as a person with a unique thought process, with a unique sense of humour, all this uniqueness that each of us has, whether we want it or not, it's just not fair or right or useful to say it's got to be political, or it can't be people just having a chat, because, different theatres, publishers, you name it, everybody has got their own tastes. But if you are not the writer for them, that doesn't mean you're not the writer for somebody else. In fact, it's pretty much proof that you are the writer for someone else. Just like dating, not every first date is going to be your soulmate, but out there are a bunch of prospective people that are. And it's exactly like that with your writing voice. So that really is what the difference is between writing coaching and editing, writing feedback, things like that. It's to do with understanding your own uniqueness and getting a lot more comfortable with that. So what I do, and the reason that I did the PG Cert in business and personal coaching, as well as the PG Cert in teaching creative writing at Cambridge, all of that was about being able to emotionally support people who are just usually getting the courage to realise how much their emotions are their stationery, like the pens you're using, the paper, the computer. Everything about you needs to be free to you, needs to be available to you in order to be the writer that you can be. So that is why writing coaching, and that is why confidence coaching. I thought it was worth coming on and saying that, because the thing that you will hear me say a lot here, and that I will never, I hope, stop saying, is that the best writing advice isn't about writing. The other thing that I don't say enough, that I'm going to start saying more regularly, is it's not advice. It's asking you. It's creating somewhere safe for you to be while you think your way through this, and you get this on paper and you keep developing it. That is what I am for. The next course starts on the 22nd of January. That's writing short stories and satisfying chapters. It's not just for fiction writers, it's for anybody who wants to understand about how you get a draft and you develop a draft and you develop your confidence through that draft. So if it's something you're curious about, my suggestion would be absolutely go for it, which goes for most things in life, really. And if you do want to message, if you do have questions, I am so happy to hear from you. There are one-to-one sessions available as well, and it's all on the website, it's all in the DMs. But if you are just plain curious about who you are as a writer, and maybe aspects of your writing that didn't quite come out along the way, you absolutely know where I am. That is a conversation I love to have. There's no such thing as too much experience or too little experience. We are all humans travelling. There is always more to discover. So that's what happens. That's what it feels like. If you would like to come and say hello, please do exactly that. Say hello in DMs, email, the works. You know where I am. Have a lovely Sunday.